and appreciation for such an amazing man. Not only did we admire him for his God-given gift of music, but as a person. And he's obviously touched people globally. And we are proud that he represented us all over the world, right? So tonight we're going to be hearing from a few people that Flaco touched their lives in tremendous ways. And I know for me personally, I would not be who I am without that pioneer, that legend, the icon of Flaco Jimenez. So we're going to start it off with the best part. We're going to kick it off with prayer. And I ask that you please welcome Deacon Adam Garza.
Shelley, first of all, my condolences to the family. Being a fellow musician, and then I was asked to come and do a prayer service, and I said, yes, of course. It will be a privilege and an honor. I had the honor of playing with Flaco at one of the Tejano Music Awards. They had the Accordion medley, and he was one of the ones that was playing on there. It was great. Like Shelley said, we're going to start with prayer. As we know, prayer is powerful. Prayer is needed for our souls. So we're going to pray for the soul of our brother, Flaco Jimenez. And in doing so, I'm going to recite some scripture that I found. I said, you know what, this is what I'm going to pray for Flaco and the family. And it comes from the New Testament. The first one is a reading from St. Paul to the Romans. It says, are you unaware that we who were baptized in Christ Jesus were baptized into his death? We were indeed buried with him through baptism to death, so that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, we too might live in union of life. For we have grown into union with him through a death like this, we shall also be united with him in the resurrection. We know that our old self was crucified with him so that our sinful body might be done away with, that we might no longer be in slavery to sin. For a dead person has been absolved from sin. If then we have died with Christ, we believe that we also shall live with him. We know that Christ, raised from the dead, dies no more. Death no longer has power over him. The word of the Lord. And then I came across this gospel. This gospel according to John, chapter 14, verses 1 through 6. It says, do not let your heart be troubled. You have faith in God. Have faith also in me. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If I would not, I have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back again to take you to myself, so that where I am, you also may be. For I am going, you know the way. Thomas said to him, Master, we do not know where you are going. How can we know the way? Jesus said to him, I am the way, and the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. The gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus. As we heard these readings, my brothers and sisters in Christ, these are readings for when we are called home, our next life. But on that never ends. Today, we might be here. Tomorrow, we don't know. It's not promised. That's why it's because each and every day we wake up, that's our present. And in order for us to hope and pray that when we are called home, that we go and meet Jesus. Just like he said, my Father's house, there are many dwelling places. He has a place for each and every one of us. Now it's our job also to do our part. It's not like a free pass, like, okay, we came back for our sins, we're good to go. We have to do our part. And I know that we try. In our daily lives, there are many things that happen, many trials that we go through. I know that our brother Flaco, his last years, he was having trouble giving up. But yet, he still kept on going. And it was the love of music, the love he has for his family, the love he has for all of us, fans. Me being a fellow musician, that's why we do it. It's a God-given gift. And we go out and try to make people dance, try to make them happy. There might be some songs that are sad, of course, but then we try to play something lively. Now, Baka was always playing lively music, which is accordion. And I only play from here, from the soul. And that's what counts. Having our soul dedicated to God, then we know that, okay, Lord, the day you call me, I'm going to go and meet Jesus. Now we pray and hope that that's what happened. I'm pretty sure. Jesus probably said, come on, Flaco, you need another accordion up here. Let's go do it. You did it all over. You started from the west side to San Antonio. You did it. You played here in San Antonio, you played in Texas, you played in the United States, you played worldwide. God spread our music worldwide, and we have that to thank him. Conjunto music. You could say that Tejano is an offspring of Conjunto. That's where it came out of. Hey, admit it. I started a band with my brother David. We started as a four-piece, and then we evolved to more. But Conjunto has always been here, and always been alive. We kept the music going. So let's keep our families in prayer. Keep the Jimenez family in prayer. And I want to offer a Hail Mary and Our Father for the soul of our brother. So please join me. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. In the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Once again, fans, friends, family members, fellow musicians, thank you. Thank you for being here for the family. It means a lot to them. Our presence alone, there's times when we really don't have to say much. Just by being here, it means a lot to them. So thank you once again. And now it's going to get better, okay? We're going to celebrate his life. So that's what we're doing.
Thank you, Deacon Adam Garza. Just like he said, we are celebrating life. Death is not the end, it's the beginning. So we know. So we are going to have the presenting of the Texas flag. We're going to ask Stephen Ray of the Texas Music Office, as well as Crystal Jones from the Department of Arts and Culture.
on the passing of Flaco Jimenez. Beloved by family, friends, and fans, Flaco was a highly acclaimed musician and a remarkable man, and he will be missed dearly. His love of music, entertainment, and people touched a great many lives. In a life as rich as it was long, he built an enduring legacy. And I know that he holds a special place in the hearts of many. Over the course of his legendary career, Flaco cemented his status as an icon, as his musical reach extended far beyond his hometown of San Antonio and garnered international attention. Known for his vibrant sound, virtuosity, and his collaborations that introduced traditional sounds to mainstream pop and country, Flaco became a distinguished 6-time Grammy Award winner, and as winner of the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, he established himself as a global icon. Over the course of his illustrious life, Flaco became a living legend, and although he has etched his name in music history as a singer-songwriter, virtuoso, ultimately the roles that matter most are husband, father, and grandfather. He builds a beautiful life filled with love and joy. He has blessed Texas beyond measure, and I am certain that his music will sway hearts long after his passing. Times of loss are by no means easy, but I know you will find comfort in his legacy and your fond memories of him. During this season, mourning and hereafter, know that the entire state of Texas shares your grief and celebrates the life of Flaco Jimenez. First Lady Cecilia Abbott and I lift your family in prayer today and in the days ahead. Sincerely, Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas.
My name is Crystal Jones, and I'm the director of the City of San Antonio's Department of Arts and Culture, and it's my honor to be here on behalf of the City of San Antonio. This morning, it was also my distinct honor to welcome Flaco's family to City Council chambers, where City Council recognized his legendary career, and during this special occasion, there was a point of privilege to honor the remarkable 70 years he spent building his legacy. He was celebrated for his transformative impact on Conjunto music, and he introduced these vibrant genres to listeners across the world. Many people might have never encountered Conjunto music, they were moved by his artistry. Whether he was traveling the globe, winning Grammys, winning the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, or receiving the National Medal of Arts, which is the highest artistic honor from our federal government, he was always proud to call San Antonio his home. He never forgot his roots, and he continuously gave back to this community through his performances and by inspiring people of all ages to pick up the accordion and play. He left an indelible mark on San Antonio. As evidenced by your presence today, and all of the condolences that have been sent throughout the world for him, San Antonio will never forget him. His legacy and influence will live on forever. I want to extend, on behalf of the City of San Antonio, our heartfelt thanks to his family for sharing him with us and for organizing this beautiful day of honor. May you find solace in knowing that his legacy is cherished, his memory embraced by countless people near and far. Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing accolades, but yet very humble. Very humble man. We are going to invite the Honorable Judge Rosie Leland Gonzalez, will be reading a statement from the Honorable Judge Sakai.
Buenas tardes. I am here as a representative of the people of Bexar County on behalf of all the elected officials at the county level and all the staff at the county and all the fans there. Por favor. Los acompañamos en su pésame. There are people in our lives that we meet that show the ability to connect people together. Two of those people are here tonight, Joe and Kimmy Berino with Blue Cat Studios. And I mentioned them because Flaco, along with Augie and Max Baka, spent a lot of time in that studio recording. And it was through them that I got to meet Flaco. And we spent many a night on that back porch, drinking plenty of beers, and he got a lot of free legal advice from me. And I was happy to do it. But I do want to credit my good friends for that introduction. And before I read the message from Judge Sakai to you, I do want to share the message that we get from the people north of here, from the First Nations tribes north of Canada. Because they don't believe in death. They believe that we all live through our souls and our spirits eternally. Our bodies are just vessels. And when we're done with our vessels, we rise to the heavens above. We are jettisoned to the next dimension, where we sit as stars every night. And we watch over our loved ones left behind to make sure they live to see the light of another day. So when you miss your dad, your dean, your relative, just look up into the stars at night and know that he's sitting up there, making sure you make it through the night to live to see the light of another day and saving you a spot in the heavens above. I want to share this note from Judge Sakai at this time. He says, Flaco was a dear friend and wonderfully talented performer whose legacy will live on through our memory of his magical live performances. His ability to connect with the adoring fans is legendary. Flaco was an international star. His stature in the Tejano, Conjunto and Tejano worlds was unsurpassed. The world has lost a gifted musician and a wonderful human being. We will miss him, but his music will endure for generations to come. He embodied the essence of what makes this community special. Rest in peace, my one-of-a-kind friend. Sincerely, Judge Peter Sakai.
I didn't believe Judge when she said that Flaco liked to drink. I think she was pushing that a little bit. At this time, I'd like to invite Congressman Joaquin Castro to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Wonderful to be with you to celebrate an incredible legend and icon. I think it's fair to say that Flaco's music was San Antonio. It was the sound of San Antonio. I'm especially proud as a West Sider, somebody who grew up on the West Side, and is really expressed throughout the world. I, of course, am very proud to represent our hometown of San Antonio in the United States Congress and House of Representatives. And on very special occasions, we get to enter what's called the Congressional record that memorializes something forevermore in the United States Congressional record. And I was able to do that today for Flaco Jimenez. My colleague, Jerry Martinez Fisher, State Representative, who also represents a big part of the West Side, did the same thing on the floor of the Texas legislature in their record. He's not with us today. He's defending democracy, but he says he's the wrong himself. I'd like to read you the Congressional
record because it's a very special occasion. And it reads, Mr. Speaker, today I rise in honor of Leonardo Flaco Jimenez, who passed away on Thursday, July 31st, 2025. A pioneer of conjunto music, his music powerfully defined the arts. He brought generations together through his one-of-a-kind talent. He survived by his wife, Adela, his 8 children, and his brother, Santiago Jimenez Jr. A San Antonio native, Mr. Jimenez was born into a family of musicians. He was the grandson and son of trailblazing accordionists who encouraged Flaco to pursue music. He played with his father's band as a child, launching a career that spanned more than 7 decades. As Flaco began to master the accordion, he soon packed Texas's dance halls at a young age. His performances captivated audiences and spread throughout the country. His incredible talent led to collaborations with notable musicians who dominated the airwaves. These collaborations exposed regions across the country and the world to the conjunto sound. Flaco was an international ambassador of conjunto music, and by extension, Mexican-American culture. Everywhere he performed, the rhythm from his accordion did more than move the crowd. It exposed people to the Mexican-American ethos. The shared stories of hope, love, perseverance, and triumph touched and shaped the soundtrack of American life. The power in Flaco's music forms a legacy defined by success. His albums, such as Ay Te Dejo in San Antonio y Mas, and hits like Margarita, Margarita, and Hey Baby, ¿Qué pasó? He received many prestigious accolades. Flaco became a 6-time Grammy Award-winning artist and received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2015. His album, Partners, was inducted into the National Recording Registry at the Library of Congress in 2021. He also received various Hall of Fame inductions and Lifetime Awards. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to celebrate the life and legacy of a Conjunto and Tejano music icon who will long be remembered in my hometown, across the state of Texas, and around the world. God bless Flaco Jimenez.
Thank you so much, Congressman. At this time, we'd like to have from the office of Congressman Henry Cuellar, Jesus Toro Martinez.
I think I don't have to use this cell. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you. My name is Jesus Toro Martinez. I'm here on behalf of your Congressman Henry Cuellar. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here, but he sends his deepest condolences to you all. He sent for the Congressional recognition to present to Flaco Jimenez, but let me read what it says. It's on behalf of the Congressman. It says, Congressional Certificate of Recognition. This certificate is presented to Leonard Flaco Jimenez, U.S. Army Specialist E4, National Endowments for the Arts Fellow. In recognition for his outstanding service to our community and his country, his remarkable contributions to our community through music, his dedication, both in uniform and on stage, has left enduring impact on South Central Texas. His artistry and patriotism amplifies the spirit of public service. His legacy will continue to inspire generations. With sincere gratitude, we present this certificate and U.S. flag to honor Leonard Flaco Jimenez. For his exceptional tenacity and unparalleled level of commitment to our community and to our country. Signed, Henry Cuellar, U.S. Congressman, 20th District.
Thank you, Jesus. Our next guest is a writer, musician, and good friend of Flaco. Please welcome Hector Saldana.
Thank you, Shelley. I'm Hector Saldana. I work at the Whitlock Collections at Texas State University. I'm a music curator there, and I'm tasked with the preservation of the arts and preserving the legacies of musicians like Flaco. I'm going to keep my remarks brief. On Sunday in the Express News, there will be a special remembrance that they've given me the chance to write, and I'm lucky I have a forum to say those kind of things. But here's what I'll say now. So many beautiful words and memories. I'm certain that if he were here, Flaco would express his gratitude first to his fans, to his people, to la gente. That's who he played for. That's what kept him going. He often told me that he could feel that love from the audience. And that is so true. I was there, sometimes there by the side of Santiago Jr., you can feel that energy just coming toward the stage, the love to Flaco. But now in this time, all of us in this room bear the responsibility of keeping his memory and his music legacy alive. As a friend, a musician, a journalist, a historian, I stand on the shoulders of those who help amplify the stories of our community. Flaco helped tell that story of the west side of San Antonio, and he did take it to the world. And I can name everyone in this room, where many of us are friends, but I must especially note people that I've stood on their shoulders to get the word out about Flaco, they've been shouting it from the rooftops forever. I have to thank Juan Tejada, the late Chris Grouchwitz, Graciela Sanchez, Ramon Hernandez, Elaine Ayala, Joe Nick Patowski, the late Michael Corcoran, John Philip Santos, Jack Morgan, John Burnett, Sam Kendrick, Bill Baird, Katie Vine, Jim Beal, the late Carlos Guerra, Deborah Martin, Michael Quintanilla, of course Joe Trevino, Max Baka, but most especially this journalist, a man named Jim Keast. He was the writer and the editor who wrote Flaco's obituary with me. He did it so quickly and so smoothly, and for those that saw the story, it was wonderful because of Jim's tremendous efforts, not only on the story, but to get it out there so fast. And I just want to thank him. Sometimes some of these people behind the scenes don't get that credit. I'll end with this. Flaco Jimenez never forgot where he came from. Never. And he is a reminder that our stories matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Hector. Now, one of the things I love as a musician that I loved about Flaco is that he played corner accordions. That's what I love. That's the other people are probably not going to agree with me, but that's okay. So I would like to bring next up Gilbert Reyes Horner, who is here to speak on behalf of Horner. Not sure if Gilbert's here just yet. Is he here? Okay. We'll come back to Gilbert. He just made me waste a free plug. See what I mean, Baka? See what I mean? We'd like to welcome next Juan Tejada, who is the founder of the Tejano Conjunto Festival.
Creador, the Great Spirit, and all of the animas de este lugar sagrado aquí, all of our indigenous ancestors at the sacred place, and con el permiso de la familia Jimenez, all of his wife Elida, all of his children, his brothers and sister, con el permiso de todos ustedes aquí presente, we are here to remember and honor we are here to remember and honor Flaco Jimenez. And as you've heard and as you've read this whole past week, he was one of our greats, you know. He's the only Conjunto artist to have won 6 Grammys, including the Lifetime Achievement Award. He was the Conjunto artist and Tejano artist in general. I think that was the most well-known throughout the whole world. Recording artist, yes. Recording artist, composer, cantante, gran accordionista. You know, Flaco, coming from, he was actually the 3rd generation West Side accordionist. His grandfather, Patricio Jimenez, played little, passed it on to his father, Santiago Jimenez Sr., and then Flaco, the 3rd generation of the great Jimenez family tradition of accordionists and Conjunto artists here from the west side of San Antonio, and San Antonio in general. I came to know Flaco from a different side when I was very young, and the whole Jimenez family. When I was 9 years old, my father loved la música de Don Santiago Jimenez Sr., Flaco's father. And he wanted one of his children to learn how to play accordion. My older brother, Frank, didn't take to the accordion. My sister didn't either. And I was the next in line, and I showed some musical talent. So he looked in the phone book. Remember the phone book? And he looked up Santiago Jimenez. And he saw he was living on Arriba Street on the west side. So he took me one Saturday morning, I was 9 years old, to meet Santiago Jimenez and see if he would teach me how to play the accordion. I didn't even have an accordion at that time. But Santiago Jimenez Jr., Flaco's brother, was actually that Santiago Jimenez that was in the phone book. And he was a young 19-year-old accordionist also in his father's traditional style. And he was just beginning his first conjunto. And he told my father that Don Santiago Jimenez, his father, was living in Dallas at that time and working there as a janitor. But that my father wanted that he could teach me how to play the accordion. And he ended up charging my father $3 for every tune that I learned. He would play, the first tune I learned was Don Santiago's La Piedrera, classic and standard in the Conjunto music repertoire, just like Viva Seguin and others that Don Santiago composed, and then Santiago Jr. and Flaco and all of us learned coming from that Jimenez family tradition. And then in the band that Santiago Jr. formed at the time, he met my cousin Bobby and my cousin Tony, who were young musicians at that time also. They ended up playing in his band guitar, and Bobby played guitar and Tony played drums. So when Tony got out of the band, I played with Santiago Jimenez Jr. on drums for 2 years when I was like 11, 12, and 13 years old. I knew of Flaco. Flaco was older than Santiago. I don't think that I met him at that time, at least I don't remember, but claro que lo conocíamos, and he was already popular on the accordion. And then I think it wasn't until 1982 with the first Tejano Conjunto Festival in San Antonio that we did. And the first day that we had it on Friday there at the Mercado. I don't know if some of y'all may remember. It's been like 44 years now for the Tejano Conjunto Festival. I hired all three Jimenezes. Don Santiago Jimenez Sr., Jesus Valedores, played with his band. Then Flaco Jimenez y su conjunto played with his band. Then Santiago Jimenez Jr. y su conjunto played with his band. After the father played, we was towards one of the last acts that evening. We reunited Don Santiago Jimenez Sr. on accordion, Flaco Jimenez on bajo sexto, and Santiago Jr. on bass. And I think that's the first and only time, as far as I know, that the three Jimenezes played together and it was videotaped and recorded. Now it's considered one of the classic recordings from the Tejano Conjunto Festival with all three Jimenezes. That was the very first year in 1982. Over the years, yes. That's a very special memory for me. That my first teacher and the great Jimenez family tradition and the three Jimenezes playing together. And there were a lot of very special memories at the Tejano Conjunto Festival that I could recall, but I'm just going to recount a couple of things. There's always been a very special connection between the poster contest, so we have a poster contest every year for the Tejano Conjunto Festival, and just this mysterious connection with the cosmos and things as they happen. So in 1994, the Tejano Conjunto Festival, the winning poster that year was by Jacinto Guevara, who lives here on the east side, and he painted from a photo of Los Caporales, which was one of the first bands, and not the first band that Flaco Jimenez played with. Los Caporales, I think, was 15 or 16 years old. And there's a photo with Flaco Jimenez playing the accordion, and then Henry Zimmerly, I think, on bajo sexto, and Big Red on bass, and other important conjunto musicians. So he painted that photo, and he won the poster contest that year. And that was the year, 1994, that the only inductee into the Conjunto Music Hall of Fame was Flaco Jimenez. 1994. Come 30 plus years later to last year's Tejano Conjunto Festival, Flaco played many Tejano Conjunto Festivals over the 43 years that we've had, and 1 year was postponed for the pandemic. But he played many years, and these last years, I think he played like 13 years in a row. He used to rotate a little bit because there's a lot of good conjunto musicians out there. So last year, in 2024, at the 43rd Annual Tejano Conjunto Festival, Flaco performed, as he performed on Sunday, many years in a row with Max Baka and those Tex Maniacs there. And he wasn't, last year in 2024 was the last time he performed at the Tejano Conjunto Festival. He wasn't able to make it this year in May in 2025, but the winning poster for this year's festival in 2025 was the image of Flaco. And you see that poster around here somewhere. So Flaco was there in spirit, even though he couldn't perform this year. Last year was the last year he performed at the Tejano Conjunto Festival. We have lost one of the greats in the history of Tejano and conjunto music. But while his accordion maybe silenced the music, and he left over 100 or more recordings in all different formats will live with us forever. He was one of the verdadera voces del pueblo tejano, del pueblo mexicano tejano, del pueblo chicano. He was a simple, humble man. I will always remember the after parties that we had with Flaco at Tejano Conjunto Pessolera, the parking lot, some of y'all may remember. And then a couple of times that we went to his house and partied with him all night, and a couple of times we went to other people's houses and partied all night long. And I'll remember the evenings at the Blue Cat Studios with Joe Trevino and Kim and all the músicos that we sat out there when he was recording, and the stories that he told us, and the music that he left us, and the memories that he left us. So Flaco Jimenez will never die, and if you'll join me in saying presente, he will always be in our hearts and minds and with our music and in our souls. And Flaco will live forever. Flaco Jimenez, presente. Flaco Jimenez, presente. Flaco Jimenez, presente. Que viva Flaco.
Thank you, Juan. Another person telling stories about Flaco and drinking and having fun. It's funny because we've all seen him like that. But enjoy life. Enjoy life. And we only get one shot of it, right? So it's my honor to bring to the stage, I know, two of our favorite people, and I know you'll agree with me on this. Our former mayor, Ron Nuremberg, and his beautiful First Lady forever, the First Lady of San Antonio and HEB Executive, Erica Prosper.
Good evening, everyone. I, like you, am going to have a hard time looking at that accordion and not thinking of Flaco. But I do want to say to the family, thank you for sharing him with us, with the world for so many years. Let's face it, fellas, all of us who have wives who love Conjunto music have Flaco to thank, because it doesn't take a whole lot of talent to dance to Conjunto music. And I know that's part of why Erica and I are together, is because we enjoyed Flaco's music on the dance floor. But I will say that what this city is grateful for is that we have become known throughout the world as a city of compassion, of humility, of arts, of the Mexican-American tradition, and Flaco was the perfect representation of our city. And so God bless Flaco Jimenez, to the Jimenez family. Thank you for your gifts that you've given the world. And so let me now introduce my wife, Erica.
Primeramente estoy aquí representando the 956. As a young woman growing up in the valley, Flaco's music was part of my existence in the fields, in our backyard as we danced. The small amount of money that we had to enjoy life, he was an active part of that existence and the desire for more. So from that perspective, I want to thank everyone who continues to listen to his music, and I want to give our besame as well from our family. From a mother's perspective, I am here to tell you how important it has been to include his music in the education of our son, in his culture and his future. And I'm also here on behalf of the over 188,000 HEB partners who understand that Texas wouldn't be Texas without Flaco Jimenez. So thank you all. Y que viva Flaco para siempre.
One last thing, Juan mentioned the after parties. For those of you who have known Little Joe and Flaco and Santiago, these men truly know the hidden secrets of the universe, but you have to go to one of those after parties.
We're going to be hearing those stories all night. Right, Santiago? Okay. Now, ahora sí, we want to invite Gilbert Reyes of Corner Accordions to say a few words.
Primeramente, on behalf of Corner, I want to say condolences to Jimenez family. And thank you for letting me be part of the family. You've known Baka for many years. And I got to know him really well when I started working with him because we wanted to do a special recording for the Flaco Jimenez series recording. And as I was flying today, I was remembering some of the stories. And it was, I believe, 2011. Flaco and I were in California. We were promoting the Flaco Jimenez series recording, which Chris Stratch was with us. And we were at this festival. And this gentleman comes up to me and says, "Mr. Reyes, is it possible that Flaco can sign one of these recordings that I just bought, the signature series?" I said, "Absolutely." We talked to Flaco. Flaco went ahead and grabbed the accordion and started signing it. And then the gentleman looks at me and he says, "By the way, Mr. Reyes, I think there's something wrong with the accordion." I go, "What do you mean?" He said, "No disrespect, but there's something different about it." I go, "Well, tell me." And Flaco was signing and he's kind of listening. And the guy says, "Well, I play accordion. I've been playing for some years, not as good as Flaco, but when I play that accordion, it doesn't sound like Flaco." So I'm looking at Flaco, and Flaco has this big grin on his face, right? And he's just kind of signing it, and he gives it back to him, and he says to him, "No se la accordion." I said, "No." It's not the accordion, it's the man, basically, that's what he said. So we were laughing, you know. So that was Flaco, always making a joke. But when I started working with Flaco, I had no idea, you know, because we needed to find out his tuning and stuff like that. So I went to his house, and the first thing I noticed at his workstation was this, some bellows, tuning bellows, if you will. There was no piano bellow, and he had two pieces of wood on each one side. He glued them, right? And so on the top it has a hole. That's how you tune. You get a read and you listen to it. That's how you tune. I'm like, okay. I thought it was going to be something different, but that's cool, you know. And when you tune a reed, for example, a reed has two parts. It's got a tongue and it's got a metal base. And Flaco, I've known for many years that he does his own tuning, right? He did his own tuning, repaired his own accordions, and he had his particular sound. So I thought, okay, he's probably going to get one of these interesting tools, because I've been going to the factories for many years in Germany and Italy, and they have all this equipment. Well, Flaco takes out a clothespin, no piano, jams it into the reed, and he starts smiling, and they're like, "Wow, unbelievable, I've never seen that before." He said, "No, I'm ready to see So then I thought, okay, so he fixed the reed, and he showed me how to do this, and then I noticed there was an old pot with wax, because the reeds are attached to the
those words, green blocks, right? With wax. So he's heating up this thing on his table, an old pot, and he's got an old spoon that he bent, and he's grabbing the wax and he's putting it on there real carefully, like, unbelievable. I've never seen that before. So here he was working with all these handmade tools. It was just remarkable. I thought, man, to me, it was raw, it was direct, and it was great. Just like him, right? And for the signature series accordion, his tuning was unique, right? We call it swing tuning. I don't want to get really technical, but for example, when you hear the note of an accordion, it kind of vibrates. Well, he had it tuned right in the middle. It didn't vibrate too much or too little. In other words, it wasn't too wet or too dry, so it was right in the middle. But another thing that he did was he modified the accidentals, the 3 buttons on the top of the accordion, right? And I said, well, why do you do that? He said, well, it's because I play a lot of chromatic scales. So we were going back and forth, well, should I include that onto the signature series or not? He said, well, people don't play like me, so just do the standard tuning, the swing tuning, and forget about the rest. I said, okay, we'll do that. So I said, I'm going to need some reblocks, okay? I need the way you tune it. So he sent it to me, and then a week later he called me and said, Bill, you got the reblocks, right? I go, yeah. How did they look? See, he was very proud of his work. He says, did the wax look okay? I go, yeah. Because it's going to Germany, right? Yeah. What about the tuning? Was it good? I said, God, it was great. Thank you. So he was that kind of guy. He was, into the details of his accordion. So basically, the sound came from his hands, his soul, his homemade tools, his ability to modify the accordion to pick it. It was so unique. So Flaco, the accordion, was everything. He would just call me just to say, hey, I'm doing a new tuning. I'm going to do it perimeter-free, and we're going to do this and that, or I found a new method to fix it. Every time he spoke about accordions, he did it like a kid, Even when we were together, he was like in a different plane when we were talking about accordions. The accordion was his safe place. It was his purpose, his joy. And through it, he gave joy to the world. I'm sure you could dismiss Flaco. Not just the legend, but the man I got to work with, laugh with, and learn from. Rest in peace, my soul. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the magic. Gracias.
Thank you, Taylor. And we all know that he represented Horner to the best of his ability, and because of Flaco's playing, encouraged younger generations to come to play Horner accordions as well. So thank you very, very much, Robert. At this time, we'd like to bring up Christina Ball from the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center.
Buenas tardes. We have lost a Mexican-American Tejano hero. So it is a moment of sadness, but it is also a moment of pride and joy, because we are happy for the legacy that he left, that Flaco left, and the joy that he brought to so many of us, to so many people beyond this room, beyond this auditorium. He was the authentic representation of Texas Mexican working class people. And he always carried that proudly. Con una bandera muy alta. And that is, to me, that is the biggest gift that he left all of us. This morning, I woke up at 4 in the morning, and I think we've talked about, several of the speakers like Juan and others have talked about the spirits being probably being moved. And I remembered, I went back to 2006. I was in San Benito. I was at the Narciso Martinez Cultural Arts Center, and there I had the honor and privilege of coordinating the memorial services for another Tejano music great, Texas Mexican music great, Valdemar Huerta, or Freddie Fender. He passed away in 2006. And I thought, well, maybe the compadres are joining up in heaven right now, reforming the Texas Tornadoes, reforming, the Mexican arm of the Texas Tornadoes. Freddie was born in 1937, and Flaco was born in 1939, I believe, and yes, and they were both veterans. They both served their country. And another just interesting point that I thought, both of them were influenced by Louisiana music. Freddie by swamp pop music, and Flaco apparently was inspired by Clifton Chenier to pick up the accordion because he liked how Clifton Chenier made it sound happy, made the accordion sound happy, and that's what Flaco wanted to do. A couple of weeks ago, just a few weeks ago, in this very theater, on this very stage, we also showcased some films of some more Tejano music greats. The new documentary of Selena and the new documentary of Johnny Canales. We have so many Texas Mexican musicians and cultural workers to be proud of. So many of them. And Flaco distinguishes himself in being the one that took this music worldwide. Not just in the Americas, internationally in the Americas, but intercontinentally. He was in Europe, in Asia, and he was the one that introduced our music, and by extension, us Mexican Americans, Tejanos, to the rest of the world. We find ourselves in a difficult time. Mexican Americans have always been resisting, with our own culture, dancing, listening to the music, and we find ourselves in an era where we're back to square one or even worse, where we're having to defend our culture. We have to continue defending our culture, continue defending our music, and that legacy is going to be up to the rest of us to continue. The Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center, we do have the Conjunto Festival every year, like Juan mentioned, and we were very proud this year that the winning image of the poster is, by the way, it's in one of the flower arrangements right there, and Juan showed off the t-shirt, and I have the same t-shirt, but mine's bedazzled. And thanks to Rachel over there, Rachel bedazzled it for me. And so we were very proud to have this image because we knew, that probably unfortunately, we thought we might not have Flaco for very long. We were also very happy to have him last year in 2024 at the Tejano Conjunto Festival. I believe that was his second to last performance, but it sure was like the last public performance, and you'll find many videos on YouTube of that performance, for everybody to enjoy. You can go back there and see it. And at the Guadalupe Latino Bookstore in the heart of the West Side, on the corner of Guadalupe and Brazos, this May we did set up an exhibit called Documenting Our Cultura, and we have a whole section on Flaco that we were able to put together a mini exhibit of his life with the collection of community archivist Ramon Hernandez. And then we also have work from photographers Lupito Acuña and Marilena Villarreal. So if you feel moved to just connect some more, the exhibit is still up and it will be up for several more months. And we invite all of you to keep our culture alive. And to all of you músicos out there, we're seeing a lot of músicos out there, thank you very much for giving us your gift of music. Thank you for sharing it with us. We certainly appreciate it because you make life more joyful for all of us. Que en paz descanse, Flaco Jimenez.
Thank you very much, Christina. How many of y'all have listened to Flaco's music for at least 20 years? 30 years? 40 years? 50 years? If you're 50, it's time to take your medication. I'm just helping y'all out right now, okay? But those of you that are just arriving, we want to thank everyone on behalf of myself, Shelley Lattis. It's been my honor here to honor such a great friend, mentor, fellow peer, fellow West Sider. And we get a little rough around the edges. Where's the West Side tonight? West Side. I hope everybody locked their cars because there's West Siders on the East Side. You're not responsible for the actions of West Side people, okay? And yeah, you know the price of insurance right now. I doubt that we all have it. But music is such a powerful gift. I was speaking to Flaco's family not too long ago for the Luminaria Arts that we had at the A, because I was sharing with them that I do music support for hospice patients. I go in and I entertain and thank you. But that is not about me or about a celebrity status. That is about what music can do for one human being to another. And music is such a beautiful, powerful gift that God only gave to certain people. And he certainly was very generous when it came to Flaco. Very generous. So we praise God for that gift. So at this moment, he entered the beautiful gates of heaven at 7:05, which is the time right now. So we're going to do a moment of silence.
It is with a profound, sad, and grieving heart that I offer my deepest heartfelt condolences to the family, friends, and fans of my dear friend, Flaco Jimenez. The music world lost a great gifted talent, and the people lost a great and kind human being. You know, I don't always remember when, how, and where I meet people, but with Flaco, totally different. It must have been 71, 72. We were performing at a festival in San Diego, California. I got there, went backstage, and saw Flaco standing there. I walked up to him, and the first thing he said was, "Está frío como un cabrón." The whole crowd laughing because Those are words my dad would use so often. Flaco, there are so many wonderful memories and stories to share with the people. But for now, I'm asking you to save me a place on stage, if not on stage, backstage, wherever you are. Rest in peace, hermano. Rest in peace. Amigo Lucho.
From one icon to another. And we have two very special guests here that are amazing musicians from Texas Tornadoes. Can y'all please help welcome Ernie and Speedy?
Well, we spent, actually, both Speedy and I, the rhythm section, you know, drummer and bass player for the Texas Tornadoes. And it was an honor to play with Flaco and tour with him. We lived on tour buses together, we ate together, we traveled together, and pretty much lived together with him for about 30 years on the road. One of the most memorable shows that we did was in Japan, Mount Fuji, Japan. We all flew to Japan, Tokyo, Japan. And to see the Japanese people just really getting into Conjunto music, like, we couldn't believe it. I was jumping around and really into Flaco. And it was just an amazing thing. I'd never seen it. I didn't think the Japanese would really be into Conjunto music like that. But since music's a universal language, you know, just mind-blowing. And there's one particular show we did in Madrid, Spain, and we had to catch a flight the next morning to go to Sweden. And we couldn't fly. We didn't know where Flaco was. And he had gone to do a recording session. By the time we were done playing, he went to do a recording session somewhere, and we weren't worried that he was not going to make the plane the next morning to Sweden. But here he comes, right at the last minute before they closed the door on that plane. Here comes Flaco, you know. So it's mind-blowing. And anyway, I'll let Speedy tell you the story.
I'm sure most of you got to hear Flaco play a lot, but the best I saw him play was in hotel rooms. 15, 30 people in one room, and half of them were playing music I'd never heard before. We never played it. But it was fantastic. We went to record, what was it, San Jose, Michigan. We did a video there, and he and Oscar Tejas were just playing the most beautiful music I had ever heard. And I can't believe that, well, I wish y'all could have heard it too. I'm sure you did. But the most amazing thing was Flaco and I had one thing in common. We were both at Fort Polk, Louisiana, doing basic training. And that was something to him. I kind of forgot all about it. But Flaco, that was very special, being in the military. And one other thing was Flaco got to record with the Rolling Stones, Nick and Keith. Max could probably tell you more about that. But that was a brilliant thing for me to listen to, was Flaco and Max play with the Rolling Stones back in the day. That was a long time ago, too. Okay, y'all, thank you very much.
I was looking for my glasses and they're in my hand. Thank you guys. I'm sure the stories that all of these musicians and friends, over the years have. We're going to be bringing up Dan Margulies, the writer and former producer of the Tejano Conjunto Festival.
It's really an honor to be included in the celebration of Flaco with the Jimenez family and with all of y'all. So thanks. And just want to Conjunto was, it's grounded in community and no one defined and stood at the heart of that community more than Flaco. And in a music that's defined the innovators The founders and the current innovators, they're all defined by single names, people like Narciso, Valerio, Bingo, Rabbit, Toby, Josh, Max. All these single name people, nobody is more singular than Flaco, embodiment of the very best of the music and of the soul of San Antonio and around the world. It's really impossible to characterize the full impact of Flaco's music. Not just on Conjunto, but because he transformed all of American music itself. We all know the trajectory of his life and how he came to his musical innovation. And a lot of it comes from first perfecting Conjunto with his father, and as Gilbert was talking about with his tuning, playing Baka, playing the accordion, and then perfecting the music with so many of the other giants. And for me, it's the music he made with Verhaden. But there's so much of the incredible stuff that he made. There's no reason to pick a favorite because it's endless. And of course, Baka took it much further, and he reimagined Conjunto music for his own time and then for our time in a way which really changed the whole vibe of American music. And who else, honestly, who else in American music can be said to have done that across genres? I don't really think there's anybody else. And so that's why you all know that list of people that we just mentioned, all the people who wanted to play with him, who get a taste of his magic. And all of the oldest were running through all these names they're familiar to. And there was only one Flaco as the consistent follow-through. Just back when we were sitting there, Crystal Daniel pointed out that actually Flaco's last performance was at the Conjunto Festival, which highlights the best of all the music. And to me, that's really meaningful. I'm a total outsider in Texas. I don't even live in Texas. I had the honor of running the festival for 3 years, and so the entry point to that is, what Conjunto does is bring people together and then fold you into the community should they find a place. And there's a lot of people here who can tell you all sorts of stories of music making with Flaco outside of the big stages and the lights. And for me, it was one night with Flaco and Santiago. It was the three of us at Santiago's studio drinking beer all night. And Flaco played traditional Swiss polkas the entire night until 6 in the morning. And then I drove Santiago and Flaco over to the Carmita's place and dropped them off because I was tired, but they wanted to keep going, and they did actually. Flaco had an inexhaustible supply of those tunes, and everywhere he went on, he absorbed them and learned them. He wanted to play them. So now with his passing, we're forced to contemplate a world without Flaco playing in it, and to consider his immense legacy, particularly here in San Antonio. And I feel like it's right here. It's with the love that follows him everywhere that he went, and with the love that poured out and the grief that poured out with his passing. And we witnessed the success that Conjunto is as a living, very vibrant tradition across Texas and across the country. And he directed eyes and hearts towards Texas and towards his hometown here in San Antonio, which shaped him and treasured him and watched him take over the world. And since none of us are ever going to forget him and no one will ever forget him, he actually will never truly be gone. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan. Next up, I'm gonna bring up a friend of mine who is actually responsible for putting this memorial together. And she is also from Luminaria and former TCF producer. And please welcome Yarira Lozano.
When Shirley set the stage, we get sessions. Good evening, my name is Yarira Lozano. I'm the Executive Director of Luminaria. It has been an absolute honor and privilege, just as the family of Flaco Jimenez tonight, in producing tonight's memorial, Flaco's final curtain call. Our dear friend Jesse Borrego wishes he could be here tonight, but he sends his love and a message that I'm going to do my best at speaking in Jesse. para el gran maestro Flaco Jimenez, nuestro tesoro, nuestro héroe, nuestra iluminación, nuestra inspiración. Sincerest sympathy for toda la familia y los amigos de Flaco on behalf of the Borrego familia and Jesse Borrego Sr. Eran carnales y camaradas de Conjunto. En paz y poder descansen. As we say, adios, Flaco, we feel your sorrow, but also your joy at the legacy Flaco has left behind. He inspired those of us from the barrio that grew up with his music, but he elevated our cultura with his artistry to the world. And for that, we are eternally grateful. Ahora está con su papá y su familia, que lo esperan, along with all his músico camaradas to play in the big conjunto del cielo para el creador. And his music now is in the heaven sphere, and for all the universe to hear. Que viva Flaco Jimenez! So now I'm going to read the acknowledgements. Arturo, Elisa Jimenez, Javier, and Raquel Fernandez would like to thank the following for all of their help with this memorial celebration. The City of San Antonio and Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones. The Department of Arts and Culture, Crisco Jones, Diana Hidalgo, Victoria Garcia, and all the staff that advocate for the arts and artists. Connect with community and make San Antonio an international world-class destination. Thank you, Crisco. The Carver Community Center, Cassandra Parker Nowicki and Ernie Ramirez and staff, they have been so generous by donating the use of this beautiful historic theater. With the Guadalupe Theater under repair, this sister space is equally as significant to San Antonio and the arts. Their new season will be announced later this month, bringing internationally renowned artists to San Antonio. Flaco has also played here. Luminaria. In return, I would like to acknowledge Lisa Jimenez for leading this effort, answering all the phone calls, and showing up in person over the last 3 days. Her grace and strength is a testament to the love of family, whether by blood or by bond. HEB helping here. While this portion of the program isn't always the most exciting, we could not have produced this event without our sponsors. More than just a logo, HEB has always been the first to answer the call for help. We see this time and time again, and who doesn't love their tortillas and sushi? No store does more. Thank you, Erica Prosper, Diane Campos, Lodi Flores, Stephen Villela, who is volunteering to run the live stream today, which all the fans were counting on, so thank you so much, Stephen. And like Lori said, Flaco makes me proud to be a San Antonian. I think we can all agree with that. WellMed Charitable Foundation, Daniel Calderon and Brittany Pratt. Daniel answered the call to support tonight's event and did not hesitate. As you may recall, Flaco served as a WellMed ambassador, and in the pandemic, he, Max Baka, Josh Baka, performed live online while we were all in quarantine. So thank you all. Proud 77, Christian Muller, the man behind the screen, is Chief of Marketing for Luminaria, and he's also volunteering his marketing and design skills, and has been working around the clock the past 3 days. It took 3 days to put this together. He produced the invitation, the audio, the videos that you're enjoying tonight. More than an event, this is a call to service for Christian and myself to properly honor Flaco. David and Sarah Chavez of Ingenuity. Many of us know David and Sarah. Even though they do not live here, they are big supporters of Tejano and Conjunto music, producing David's Tejano convention every summer, and are currently fundraising and planning for Flaco's statue. They too answered the call to support this evening's program. Even though they cannot be here tonight, they send their love to the family and friends. More than a job, for all the people and companies mentioned, this is community. Also special thanks to former Mayor Ron Nuremberg, Max Baka, and those Tex Maniacs for always being there for Flaco, Santiago Garza, Dwayne Verhaden for flying in from Denmark. Thank you so much, Dwayne, Shelley Lattis, who stopped everything to be here tonight. Deacon Adam Casa, Maria Elena Villarreal for documenting Conjunto over the years and volunteering and multitasking this evening. You can't miss Maria Elena. Thank you so much for answering the call. And of course, Flaco's #1 fan and my favorite volunteer, Rachel Martinez. I can't even look, I'm on fire. Rudy Lopez from Lopez Entertainment. And special mention, Saúl Ibarra, who is a former accordion student of Lorenzo Martinez at the Taller, who could not be here tonight, but he sent us all the guest books overnight from Georgia. Please do sign the guest books as they mark this significant day. All of Flaco's friends and families, thank you. I'm sure we missed people, but know that the family is grateful. Somos familia. We love you all. Okay. I'm still up. Okay, next. We have a surprise guest, Poet Laureate Emeritus, Andrea Baka Sanderson.
What an honor to be here to speak and sing to the memory of such an amazing man who helped to paint so many sceneries vibrantly with his work. If we were in a black church, you might hear this. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. And my favorite verse. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home. Polished, pointy, weather-worn boots move across checkered tiles. Those steps to the left, those steps to the right. Lovers' fingers interlocked as hips sweetly sway. Can you see it? Gritos thrown to the San Antonio skies. Slender, light tanned hands moving like electricity. Fingers flowing across keys as fast as a cyclone, a Texas tornado, or as slow as a syrupy bolero. Accordion music, accordion, moving across souls and melodies in norteños, in corridos, in conjunto, conjuring ancestors to call us to the threshold of an unseen realm. Almas uplifted, families united, united at smoky barbecue pits in the backyard, united at Brackenridge Park, united at Calaveras Lake, flea markets deep, deep down I-35. Yeah. Your distinct musicianship fills up the world with la voz of the squeeze box. On Saturday mornings, cleaning sessions con abuelas y tías. So many moments gave way to your soundtracks. Wooden window sills uplifted as box fans blew out the sound of culture courageously. Reunions, graduations, quinceañeras, fiestas, festivals, county fairs, function after function, Flaco kept it funky. Arms expanding like a crane mid-flight, then swooping in aggressively as shiny buttons were pressed past the breaking point. A finesse punctuated the air and took us everywhere we needed to be. Flaco Jimenez, your music took us and will always take us everywhere we need to be. God bless you.
Baka. Lydia and I were saying, did you just make that up? Because I think she did. Like, that's incredible. At this time, we're going to be honored to hear from Flaco's family. So we'd like to invite Natalie Marquez, Flaco's granddaughter, to speak.
Baka. muchísimo. It's a really good, Baka. Te amo para esto.
Well, our loved ones are a piece of us forever. And I know that all you have to do is talk out loud to your grandpa, wherever you are, in your room, in the car, outside, and he's going to be listening to you.
At this time, I'd like to welcome Javier and Raquel Hernandez, Flaco's son-in-law and daughter.
Good evening, everyone. After listening to everyone tonight, after listening to everyone tonight, I've been trying all night to try to find the courage to say what I want to say. I will vouch for everybody that has spoken about the after parties. I was there for many of them. To Verhaden, to all the people that are here tonight. We so humbly appreciate everyone now. I'm going to read what I wrote here. Thank you for being here tonight with us. It is indeed a night of celebration of life for my father-in-law. He touched so many lives around the world. And we thank each of them and everyone here tonight to help celebrate the life of our great father. I loved him. I loved him like a father, and he loved me like a son. I will always remember having that bond with him. My wife and I shared so many memories together with him that we would always cherish. And so speaking of a memory, I have one that I will share with you. I always remember making plans to take my father-in-law to breakfast almost every Sunday morning. We would set the time, at least by 7:30 a.m., and off we went. Now, there were some times that we did not pre-plan a breakfast because we had planned on Saturday night to go out with friends, family, maybe get together, maybe even a dance. And we would surely find ourselves coming in late after hours thinking we would sleep in. So many times, when we get home, I would tell my wife, I think your dad's going to call us in the morning for breakfast. Sure enough, Sunday morning by 6 a.m., that's no lie. My father would call, and I'd answer and say, hello, and the conversation would go like this. Mijo, ¿están dormidos? I said, no, suegro, but we really were. And then I would ask, ¿todo está bien? Is everything okay? He said, sí, todo está bien, everything is fine. Now at this point, I knew what he was trying to figure out. He was trying to figure out how to ask what he wanted to say next. And I already knew what he was going to say. He would ask, ¿ya almorzaron? Did you already eat breakfast? I say, no, suegro. Another pause. And then I would say, would you like to go have breakfast? And he would say, well, since y'all already awake, sure, why not? said, ya estoy listo, estoy afuera en mi cuartito. He had a room where he would fix his accordions. And to that said, again to River Days, he did have that little homemade tool that we saw. And I was just amazed at the work he did. That's a tradition that we will miss. We love you forever, Dad. We had so many memories of him, being able to tour California, New York, all across the state, including with the Texas tornadoes. I could tell you, from my heart, he played with his heart. Thank you all, and God bless.
Good evening, I'm Verhaden. Thank you all for coming and celebrating my dad's legacy. This music will live forever. My dad loved his fans. Every time I was there with him, he would say, "Mija, open your Facebook." and say hello to everyone for me. He waited for all the comments to come in, and I would read them to him. That made him very, very happy. My dad was a very positive, humorous, strong, humble man, even when he was going through his life challenges. I'm going to miss all his phone calls, his humor, but I'm so grateful to spend all this time with him till the end. He closed his eyes, and I couldn't wake him anymore. We had said our goodbyes, expressed our love. He told me, "Mija, we have a boy. I love you. You are my baby girl." My heart broke into pieces. So many memories, so many memories. I will never forget my dad, and I miss him so much. I want to thank my brother, Flaco Jimenez, and his beautiful wife, Lisa Jimenez, for being home, taking care of our dad 24/7. God gave you all the strength. And to my husband, Javier, for always watching over my dad. On whatever my dad needed, Javier was always there. I want to say a little poem that I wrote. Well, we didn't write, but the right one I thought was appropriate. If I could have one lifetime wish, a dream that would come true, I pray to God with all my heart for yesterday and you. In life, I love you dearly. In death, I love you still. In my heart, you had a place no one else can fill. You left behind my broken heart and happy memories too. But I never want to be memories that I only wanted
big guy. That's what I would always call him, my big guy. I will always love you, Baka. I love you, your daughter, Baka. Thank you all so much. And thank you all for always loving my dad. God bless.
That's one of the things that people do not realize about artists, is that you become, in the public eye, you belong to the public now. Your life changes. Once you're an artist, it's a different life. And I'm sure Flaco missed numerous special occasions. Christmases, Thanksgivings, birthdays, births, graduations, baptisms, you name it. But that's one of the sacrifices about being an artist, is that you do it for the passion of the music and you do it for the fans. So yes, thank you to the family for sharing him with people all over the world. Thank you. We are mourning the loss of an incredible musician, but they are mourning a father, a grandfather, a tío, a primo, and we've all been there. So, again, our love, and if we could wrap our arms around all of you, everywhere from around the world is praying for you and keeping you all in prayer.
Now I'd like to ask Arturo and Lisa Jimenez, Flaco's son and daughter-in-law.
One of the many lines my father-in-law would quote from one of his favorite movies, some of them. I know my nieces and nephews know what they were about that. He loved quoting movies, followed with a smart girl laugh. I'm Lisa, one of Flaco's daughters-in-law. We thank you to everyone who's come out, to celebrate his beautiful soul. I've been blessed to call my father-in-law the last 20 years. He will be missed by many for years and years to come. I know I will miss him immensely. He came to live with us, the last 2 months of his life. I work from home, so I was within 24/7 full-time job, full-time care for my father-in-law. It's an experience I'll never forget. A lot of lessons learned. People would always ask and assume, asking, is it hard? Is it difficult? It wasn't. It really wasn't. When you love someone, it comes easy. It comes easy. It's what you make of the situation. The hardest part for us, our son, was the emotional roller coaster. One day we were having a good day, the next day not so much. That was the hard part. We knew the inevitable was coming, but again, we worked closely with his medical team, day in, day out, sun up to sundown, making sure he was well taken care of, making sure he was comfortable. So we learned a lot. The more you educate yourself in situations like this, it helps to reduce that fear of the unknown. So one of the biggest lessons we took from that. So again, I work from home. We put next to his bed a little doorbell. So upstairs, he's not listening to it. So I put the ringtone of Under the Sea from The Little Mermaid, my favorite Disney movie. So he, needs something to drink, needs some food, he's, hitting the button. So fine, we're good. But one of the things that he enjoyed was bird watching. We had a bird feeder outside of his bedroom, so I'm working, he rings the doorbell, fly down, check on him. One day he's like, I'm thinking he needs food, something to drink, and he's like, no, I just wanted to let you know, I want you to see the birds that I saw. Okay, so again, bird watching was his thing, these last few months, so his favorite was a red cardinal. So he's ringing the bell. There's a big bright red bird, I want you to see. Okay, so again, that was our thing. I'm gonna miss hearing Under the Sea, so it's definitely gonna take on a new meaning for me. I started work at 5 a.m., so I would pop in and try to bring some high energy. So, good morning, my favorite patient. Good morning, Sidle. I'm gonna miss him. This isn't goodbye. I'll see you one day across the bridge. We'll have some busy visiting for his Sprite. I love you, and until we meet again, we'll see you again.
So much to say. He was my everything. I know he did confirm that he was proud. We went through some good times the past 2 months. We had a blast. It was a roller coaster. I never knew what it was going to be. To care for my father and that level of emotions running. But he knew for the past 5 years that I was probably going to take the bullets. He felt safe. He would call me his guardian. Dad, I don't deserve it. I did what I did because I loved him. And it came easy. He taught me a lot. This whole journey, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about life. I learned about appreciation of loved ones. And that we only got one shot at this thing, and we need to make the best of it. He was the most positive guy. No matter what, he would tell me, I survived. My bad. I can't say that in English because it just doesn't want to say. He taught me what it was to really know the inners of music and to be able to connect it in a more spiritual way than just a mechanical way. Even though I wasn't born with the gift of playing accordion. But I did what I could, and he believed in me and what I did. I'm going to miss him. It was hard seeing that, getting him a good day, and one day he was not, to where he just slept. He was tired. He did tell me he was tired. And I could see it. It's hard to see a loved one go through that. There's always a takeaway, I feel. Even in the midst of hurt, and seeing your not knowing if you walk into that door and you will see your father alive again. But we gave him his voice back. He spoke, and he said everything he wanted to. And he did tell me, me hijo, te agradezco todo lo que has hecho por mí. I'm going to miss his jokes. Call hijo, ¿qué pasó con él? No, pues no le entiendo esta chingadera. Bueno, Dad, ¿por qué? What are you doing? No, pues ya le piqué aquí, no está saliendo nada. No, déjalo así, como quiera, pues ya me entretengo con el KDA. So, there would be times we live about 45 minutes away, and we would travel all the way down south. You guys know this road? Okay then, we're good. We leave, he calls, no, mijo, ya la regué. I think if anything, those are the stories, the stuff I'm going to miss. He did tell me, Manteaguitas, mijo. Hay que darle chingazos a la vida. But I know he's in a better place. Gonna miss him. Thank you everybody for being here. Like everybody has said, his fans were his main thing. I hope to see him again. And I know he's resting. Que viva Flaco.
I mean, who does know how to work a Roku remote? I was backstage with Garida, and she was telling me about this amazing photo that Christian put together, and I was like, wow, mira nomás, no me echara. Flaco was very handsome. What happened? I like Flaco. Same thing with Santiago. I'm like, dang, they were lookers. Lookers. So speaking of Christian Mulder, I'm going to bring him up. He's the gentleman that did all of the amazing graphics and stuff, so please welcome him to the stage.
Hi guys, I know we're not scheduled to speak today, but I just have to say something that, first of all, thank you for the family. We are with you in your pain, in the memory of a great man. I just have to say something that, in everything that we're living in this moment, sometimes it's very difficult to organize everything, and I just want to say thank you to Leila Lozano, because in 3 days she put all of this together. I think that's some kind of record right there. So we will present the next video. The last time that I was in Flaco's house, we were doing an interview, we were recording some video, and I asked him about, people that he knew and places that he's been to, and of course the list is so long, and the people that he knew was, just very incredible. And he said, it's not that I'm bragging, but I am. So one more time on this stage, please give it up for Flaco Jimenez.
Flaco Jimenez. What does one say about the greatest conjunto musician of all time? That he was a favorite son of San Antonio, the salt of the earth, a supernaturally gifted musician and superstar, a pioneer of American music. He was all of that. Like Willie Nelson and Lillian Mendoza, Flaco's musical talents were evident at an early age and never stopped expanding. He took conjunto music and San Antonio heart and soul to a global stage. But our great ambassador was as adept and comfortable playing country music, the blues, rock and roll and folk songs, as he was rancheras or polkas. There was a time, however, that he was simply Leo Dago. Before his family moved to the west side, they lived in the Barrio Workers Camp near the San Antonio Zoo on a street that doesn't exist anymore. Leonardo recalled hearing the lions roar as he fell asleep at night. The family was poor, but he looked back fondly. Flaco recalled his favorite Christmas gift, a used little red wagon, a radio flyer. Many know the story of the young Flaco, the prodigy, secretly teaching himself how to play on his father's button accordion. But the first real instrument his father bought him was an acoustic guitar. Flaco also played bajo sexto. The first time he appears on record, he is playing bajo on his father's No Tuve la Dicha, a canción polka, on the Corona label. He never forgot the first time he heard the great Lydia Mendoza. Her voice, Flaco said, was like listening to the stars fall out of the sky. Poetic, insightful. But Flaco also loved listening to country music on the radio. He was curious about Elvis and rock and roll. It's easy to forget that Flaco Jimenez was part of the same music generation and pop culture that gave us Elvis Presley, Bob Dylan, Chuck Berry, Aretha Franklin, the Beatles, and Joni Mitchell. We loved Flaco not only for what he was, but for what he represented, family and cultura and pride. There was also the sex appeal. As a young man dressed in his cowboy shirts and boots, he was devilishly handsome, and he was a hell of a singer. When he played those lightning fast runs, he practically vibrated with excitement. How many times did we marvel at those electric jitterbug moves, the head bobs, and exaggerated shoulder twitches as he played? And always with a smile, musica alegre, improvised, and felt deeply. He was a humble man, thoughtful, generous to a fault. He was not perfect. He was no angel. And he had his bad boy moments. But he also served his country in the army. He performed for many charities and causes. He was a loving son who could be moved to tears when talking about his father, Don Santiago Jimenez. The awards and accolades and memories are too many to list, but some are too big to be ignored. The National Medal of Arts presented by the President of the United States. 5 Grammy Awards, plus a Lifetime Grammy Award. The National Heritage Fellowship from the National Endowment for the Arts. He was a Texas State musician and Texas Middlemarch recipient. And there were the associations with so many. From Los Caparadas, Toby Torres, Henry Zimmerly, Fred Ojeda, Eva Ibarra, Esteban Jordan, and Santiago Jimenez Jr., to his good friend Doug Song, Augie Myers, Freddie Fender, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, Emmylou Harris, Linda Ronstadt, Peter Rowland, Ry Cooder, Dwight Yoakam, Buck Owens, Los Lobos, Raul Malo, and Max Baka, and so many others. He had many champions, most notably Juan Tejeda and the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center's Tejano Conjunto Festival in San Antonio. Gilbert Reyes at Homer Instruments, musicologists and historians Chris Strauchwitz and Ramon Hernandez, record producer and studio owner Joe Trevino, and of course, Max Baka and those Tex Maniacs. They kept him going. 2025 was a hard year of challenging health issues, hospitalizations, and heartache. Down-home gigs at the Conjunto Festival and at Ruben's Place and Leathermas, a memory. Flaco faced it with courage, humility, and when he could muster it, the trademark good humor and pride in a race well run. The world loved him and his music, and we will never let go of that magic. but he was extra special in San Antonio, his hometown. Flaco Jimenez was our Satchmo. He is to San Antonio what Louis Armstrong is to New Orleans and jazz. Now he is one of those stars in the sky, flying in his little red wagon.
What an amazing career. We can't sum up in just a few minutes of the impact that this man made on so many people and continues to make. His wish was to, let's see, oh, I'm so sorry. We're going to do the holding of the flag, so we would like to please ask Liberty Castillo, Air Force, Flaco's granddaughter. Let's please acknowledge that not only was he an amazing icon musician, but served our country as a soldier. Flaco's wish was that the song My Way be done at his funeral, so we would like to invite Isaac de los Santos to do the song for Flaco.
Yes, he did it. his way. Yeah.
And now we're ready to celebrate his life through music and continue the music. Someone that needs no introduction, that has known Flaco probably more than half of his life. Please welcome to the stage Max and Josh Baka.
Where's my dad at? Where are the Tex Maniacs? Where you all at? But we got Flaco. You see that photo right over there? That's this accordion right here. That week before we did that performance, he called me. He goes, "Hey, Josh, when are you coming back into town? We're on the road for a couple of weeks. I won't be there for a while." Because, oh wow, I just finished your accordion, so I'm gonna use it on the weekend for with the tornadoes. Let it come back so it stays in tune. Okay, no problem. And that's the photo. That's you. So this song is a very special song because we got to go to our Arturo's house a couple of weeks before the passing of Flaco, and we asked Flaco, we played him some music at his bedside, and he gave us thumbs up, and he was happy, put a smile on his face, and he wanted a beer so bad, you know. But we asked him, I'll quite get his number, and he wanted the song right here. There's no
like a father to me. I toured all over the world with him. My dream came true to give his Baka there. And it happened, so I'm going to miss him. I can tell you guys a funny story from art. I got lots of them, man. We were in the airport in California trying to catch a flight. And so they dropped us off and we were checking in our stuff, and then we get to a security checkpoint. And Flaco goes through the thing and beep, beep. So he comes back and picks up his gold necklace and his bracelet. Goes through the beep. Comes back, takes his belt off. Beep. And this time he had to pee really bad. Really bad. And he was like, oh, man. And so then he took off his boots and he was wearing really just his pants and his t-shirt. He had things in his pocket. He used to always put his driver's license here and his keys and whatever he stole. So here goes, where's the restroom? It's right there. He was stopping. He passes the restroom. And he goes, enter my things, get my stuff, So I was getting his stuff, So I got the stuff from him. And he's way down over there to the next restroom. And I walk up to him and he's standing right there. It says men's room. He's standing right there. And I go, Flaco. Yeah, but get chingados. Que viva.
For Flaco, un grito. Aquí guardo un sentimiento que me agobia y que me mata. Recordando aquella ingrata que trató de abandonarme, no quisiera ni acordarme de esa ingrata y cruel mujer que siendo yo su querencia no me supo corresponder. Y yo le pregunté a la palma que si estaba en el florero. Pa' mandarle por correo 4 suspiros del alma, pobrecita de la palma. Con el sol se marchitó. Así se marchita mi alma cuando tú le dices que no.
¡Flaco!
la familia Jiménez. Love you. En el mar está una palma con las ramas hasta el suelo, donde se van a llorar los que no encuentran consuelo, pobrecita de la palma. Con el sol se marchitó, así se marchita mi alma cuando tú le dices que no. ¡Epa! Blue Cat. Flaco's influenced so many musicians in this world, man. Let's see, I don't know what the schedule is here. I think coming up right now is Ruben Ramos here?
Where's Gato Negro? Hey, Gato! Well, pues, come on, vato! Mr. Ruben Ramos, ladies and gentlemen!
And a round of applause for Mr. Isaac de los Santos. Beautiful job, brother. El mero gato negro from Austin, Texas. Mr. Ruben Ramos.
You know, Flaco was known worldwide. The New York Times gave him a half a page here. Yeah. Necesitado me encuentro, Señor. Ayúdame a ver, yo quiero saber lo que debo hacer. Muestra el camino que debo seguir. Señor, por mi bien, yo quiero vivir un día a la vez. Un día a la vez, Dios mío, es lo que pido de ti. Dame la fuerza para vivir un día a la vez. Ayer ya pasó mi Cristo, mañana quizá no vendrá. Ayúdame hoy, yo quiero vivir un día a la vez. haven't changed, just rearranged from the way they were. Show me the stairway that I should climb. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time. Sweet Jesus, I'm trusting my Lord in you. Give me the strength to do everything that I know I must do. 'Cause yesterday's gone, just beyond. Tomorrow may never be mine. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. Dame la fuerza para vivir un día a la vez. Tex Maniacs.
Mr. Ruben Ramos. Now we're going to bring up, better known as Little Miss Dynamite, San Antonio's La Voz de San Antonio, Mrs. Shelley Lattis. Give it up, Miss Shelley Lattis. Yeah.
Really? Now y'all see why I needed the podium tonight. It's Ruben's fault. I'm gonna do it in key of C. Let's see what happens. That's what that. Hey! Un grito! Come on! For Flaco tonight! Ooh, Este apasionado anda todo alborotado por volver. Voy en camino a la locura y aunque todo me tortura, sé perder. Nos dejamos hace tiempo, pero al fin llegó el momento de perder. Tú tenías mucha razón, le hago caso al corazón y me muero por volver. Y volver, volver, volver a tus brazos otra vez. Quiero volver, volver, volver. Échale, Joshi, come on. Eso. Que viva Flaco Jimenez. Come Nos dejamos hace tiempo, pero al fin llegó el momento de perder. Tú tenías mucha razón, le hago caso al corazón y me muero por volver. Y volver, volver. Everybody sing it for Flaco. A tus brazos otra vez. Llegaré hasta donde estés. Yo sé perder, yo sé perder. Quiero volver, volver, volver. Ay. Eso. Tex Maniacs, y'all. Gracias.
It's Shelley Lattis. All right. Now we're going to bring up from the Netherlands, a protege of Flaco Jimenez, Mr. Dwayne Verhaden, and his singer, Mr. Nuni Rubio. Give it up. Mr. Nuni Rubio, that's what I said. And Louis Rubio, and Mr. Louis Mendes, one of Flaco Jimenez's all-time favorite songs, man.
I don't know. I don't know what the protocol here is in here this event center, but every single show that we did with Flaco, he always had one of these. So
this song is my mom's favorite song, and I lost my mom in '97, and I started touring Europe with Flaco in '97. And I used to sing the song with Flaco. It's my mom's favorite song, and now this is for Flaco. It's called Prenda del Alma.
And we're going to bring up Mr. Arturo Jimenez, Flaco's son, to play drums on the song. Yep.
Mira nomás. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can I get some accordion, please?
¡Échale, Flaquita! ¡Shine! ¿Qué haré lejos de ti, prenda del alma? Sin verte y sin oírte y sin hablarte. A cada instante intentaré de ti acordarme, aunque sea un imposible nuestro amor. ¿Cómo quitar la esencia de las flores? ¿Cómo quitar el viento la armonía? ¿Cómo negar que te amo, vida mía? ¿Cómo borrar de mi alma esta pasión? Squeeze it, Dwayne.
ocultar. Como hay quítele brillo a las estrellas, como hay pedir que corra el manso río, como negar que te ama el pecho mío, como borrar de mi alma esta pasión.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Mr. Nudi Rubio and Mr. Louis Mendes. And Dwayne Verhaden for the Netherlands.
Thank you. I was thinking about saying something tonight, and hombre, no sé ni qué decir. You know, I think the ones that know me, those ones know what Flaco meant to me. And it's very hard, as you know, es muy difícil entender y aceptar y realizar que este gran señor ya no está aquí con nosotros. Pero as long as I live, that's one. I cannot promise too much, but what I can promise is that I'll try to keep his sound alive as long as I live. So, you know, so gracias. Muchas gracias, you know, es la última cosa que puedo hacer para el mejor del mundo, el mejor de todos. Entonces, vamos a tocar una canción que igual toqué para mi abuelita en su funeral, que se llama Las Golondrinas, ¿ok? Thank you. Gracias. Ok, espero que me oyes, Flaquito. Ese es para usted, ¿ok? Ahora sí, con huevos. Ahí le va.
Y ya no quiero que me beses ni besarte, ni mirarte, ni siquiera oír tu voz, porque supe que tenías otro amante y en Laredo ya tenías otros dos. Te gusta mucho el baile y bailas al compás, te vas hasta Laredo y quieres más y más.
¡Más duro!
Soy ranchero, jugador y navegante, ya me voy para nunca más volver. Me dejaste sin dinero y sin rolante, por el mundo que me echaste a correr. Te gusta mucho el baile y bailas al compás, te vas hasta Laredo y quieres más y más. Cada vez que cae la tarde, miro y miro para allá. Para hacerte una cenita sin que mire tu mamá. Esta rosa de Castilla prende y se vuelve a secar. ¿Cómo quieres que te olvides si ahorita te empiezo a amar?
Gracias. Thank you so much.
Mr. Dwayne Verhaden.
Arturo Jimenez, thank you for all you did for your dad, brother. Lisa y toda la familia. Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you so much.
He's pretty good.
Oh, man. We love it.
So we're kind of running out of time here. We're going to do one, those Tex Maniacs, featuring my nephew Josh Baka on the accordion, and then we'll bring up Mr. David Lee Garza.
Inspired by Mr. Flaco Jimenez. This is off of our up-and-coming record, Blessed by Flaco and Approved by Flaco. Yeah, you're right. Hope y'all like it. Here we go.
Clavelito, clavelito, ven para decirte adiós. No me dejes ir solito, vámonos juntos los dos. Y una mata de claveles y un clavelito corte. Yo lo vi tan colorado que mi amor se lo llevé. Tú serás mi consentida. Tú serás mi bienestar, como Dios te dé licencia, contigo me de casar. Como quieres clavelito, que de querer, si eres sol de mi esperanza y los de mi amanecer. Como quieres clavelito, que de dio de amar, si eres ángel de mi guardia que me viene a acompañar. Tú serás mi consentida, tú serás mi bienestar, como Dios te dé licencia, contigo me de casar. Gracias, thank you. Bring it up to the stage, Mr. David Lee Garza. Santiago, Dwayne Verhaden, and Josh. We're going to send Flaco off with the accordions, okay? We're going to send him on his way with the accordions, man, because that's what he was.
Actually, I want to let everybody know, my entire life and my whole career, Flaco Jimenez has always been there for the Baka family out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Flaco, for everything you've done. I love you so much. But he'll always done all the repair and tuning on all my accordions. Shout out to Horner Accordions in the house. Yeah, you're right. And this red accordion is the one of the probably the last accordion that Flaco Jimenez had to tune for myself in this wonderful band here, Tex Maniacs. And I'd like to say thank you to Flaco and Arturo, because Arturo, he put the buttons on for me. He put the pro buttons on for me. So thank you, Arthur.
Thanks, Mr. Gilbert
Flaco,
Reyes.
You're right. Thank you, Mr. Gilbert Reyes, for this wonderful gift. Yeah, you're right, Dad. Gracias.
Okay, we're going to send Flaco for these accordions, man. How about that? All right. We love you, Flaquito.
One more round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen. We want to say thank you so much to each and every one of y'all for coming out here and celebrating the life and legacy of Flaco Jimenez. Continue to pray for the family. We appreciate y'all for coming out here. Thank you to everyone here at Carver. God bless you. Please be careful on the way home.
Gracias todos. We love you, Flaco. We love you so much, Flaco. Thank you.